What's up, everyone? It's your boy Richard Graves from the Richard Graves Group. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube. If not, please go over there and like and subscribe to our channel. If you are watching on Facebook, please follow me if you're not already a friend. And please come over to Twitter and like and subscribe to our Twitter page. That being said, I'm here to talk about President Obama today. President Obama was on the campaign trail for Vice President Harris over in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he felt the need to address black men directly in regard to what he perceives as a lack of unified support for Vice President Harris. Now, I'm going to play a little video that has President Obama saying what he's saying. I may stop it from time to time to comment. Please bear with me, but let's pick it up. This is courtesy of ABC News, and we're picking him up in conversation when he goes to the reasons why he feels black men are not supporting Kamala Harris in the way that the Democratic Party and progressives believe we should.
And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with it because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
Okay. Before I even go any, I don't even know what to say about that. So basically, it can't be because we're thinking people we have a different opinion on Kamala Harris. It can't be because we have some policy concerns about Kamala Harris. It can only be, as the president's putting forth, because we are misogynistic and we have a problem with a woman being president. And this is the line he's going to. So I'm just going to call it out straight for what it is. You all know that President Obama is Ivy League educated. He's not a dumb person. He clearly understands politics. He's a former president of the United States. So this is pandering, and this is creating a false narrative. This is creating a straw man argument in order to not talk about the real reasons why there are some concerns from some African-American males or black men regarding voting for Kamala Harris. He goes to putting the reason out there, regardless of what it may be. It must be misogyny. It must be because we have a problem with women. And that is just disingenuous. And I'm embarrassed that the president would even operate and come forward. It's an insult to my intelligence because I know he's too intelligent to actually believe that. Let's go forward.
And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for them. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody?
Okay. Let's talk about, again, I said straw man and I meant straw man. So let me again break this down. The president is now saying that, we owe it to Kamala Harris because we have black mothers, black sisters, black aunties, black grandmothers who supported us in our lives. That is correct. We have black mothers, we have black wives, we have black sisters, we have black daughters. All right. And you're correct. Black women do support black men. They're out there supporting us whenever there's a situation. But that doesn't mean that we are supposed to support this particular black woman because of that. Simple as that. I can think of a few black women that I'd vote for without question. I wouldn't be questioning right now if they were running for president. Kamala Harris right now isn't one of them. And I'm going to say it has nothing to do with what the president is trying to say it has to do with. It has everything to do with her policy positions. And I think a lot of black men have that problem regarding her policy positions. Um, you know, it's just an insult to, it should be an insult to the intelligence of any black man that the president of the United States or former president of the United States, Barack Obama, would even approach us in this particular manner. Because at the end of the day, and I say this, black men have been voting for Democrats with an overwhelming majority over the last 50 years since the Civil Rights Movement. And even in this election, even if President Trump is able to get 15% of the black male vote, and Jill Stein is able to get 5%, that's still going to be 80% of black men that are voting for the Democrats. And honestly, that is more of a problem than anything that President Obama is bringing up. And that is a problem because, and I've said this before, you all know I'm a conservative. That doesn't necessarily mean that I vote Republican all the time. In fact, in the last presidential elections, I voted overwhelmingly Democrat. I voted for President Obama twice, which is why I'm a little disappointed at his spiel. I voted for Hillary Clinton, a woman. All right. And I also voted for Biden Harris. So that being said, if I am saying that I have a problem, I have some concerns, it's not rooted in misogyny. It's rooted in, I need some meat on the plate. And I'm going to give an example. I'm going to play another video that gives an example of what exactly it is I and many other black men are talking about. And I might comment on it a little bit, so please bear with me with this one as well. All right, I'm going to get this up and out, and we're going to play this.
I've been covering the border for years. And so I know this is not a problem that started with your administration.
Correct.
But there was an historic flood of undocumented immigrants coming across the border the first 3 years of your administration. As a matter of fact, arrivals quadrupled from the last year of President Trump.
You know, let's be very clear. This is a real reporter having a real discussion with Vice President Harris. And I want to put this out for everybody who doubts the facts. This is a 60 Minutes interview from Sunday. This is a real fact. Quadrupled. That is big. Illegal immigrants quadrupled coming into our country in the first 3 years of her being vice president and in charge of this. Now, you all are going to say there's nothing she can do about it. She's the vice president and the leader of the Senate to whip the votes to do something about it. But let's let her tell you what she did.
Was it a mistake to loosen the immigration policies as much as you did?
It's a long.
Hold on. The man said, was it a mistake to loosen the policies, which means it was intentional. The policies were loosened, so we had a quadrupling of illegal migration to the United States. Let's go.
Standing problem. And solutions are at hand. And from day one, literally, we have been offering solutions.
But what I was asking was it a mistake to kind of allow that flood to happen in the first place?
I think.
Now, he's on point. He's sticking it to her. Was it a mistake to allow it in the first place? She answered with a non-answer, and he went right back to the question. Now, let's see what she says.
The policies that we have been proposing are about fixing a problem, not promoting a problem. Okay.
But the numbers did quadruple.
And the numbers today, because of what we have done, we have cut the flow of illegal immigration by half.
Hold on. What we have done. Now, when we get to the last quarter of the 4 years of Biden Harris, now she's saying she's owning it. It's we. For all you guys that say that it's not her, she's owning it. We have cut it in half. Have cut it in half. So obviously she's able to do something, and they've done it because it's election time. Let's continue.
We have cut the flow of fentanyl by half, but we need Congress to be able to act to actually fix the problem.
So then she puts it back on Congress. We need them to act to be able to fix the problem. I agree. long term, but apparently there was something she could have done that she recently did to stop the quadrupling of the flow of traffic over the last 3 years. She could have done that before, while they were waiting for Congress to get their act together. Let's continue. Oh, I think that's it for that one. So again, Mr. President Obama, I respect you. However, I don't respect what you did, and I think that you're too intelligent to even structure your argument that way. You should know better, but you're pandering. You're pandering to the feminist. You're pandering to black women who bought into white liberal female feminism. All right, you're pandering to them to try to make it as if it's a war between black men and black women on this account. Most black men, again, are probably going to end up voting for Kamala Harris. I don't think I'm going to be amongst that group. You know, I'm not saying I'm going to vote for Trump or Joe Stein. I might write myself in. In fact, if any of you want to write me in, please do. So all I'm saying is this, and this is my point. President Obama wants to lecture black men, but he doesn't want to have the conversation about policy. And let me explain why that quadrupling matters to black communities. Urban black communities, where a significant part of the African-American population lives, cities like Chicago, Baltimore, New York, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Atlanta. These are cities that, most of them are sanctuary cities, that took in a lot of these illegal migrants and used resources that rightfully belong to the people, the citizens of those cities. And in those cities, let's take Chicago particularly, you have a failing school system that fails black kids, not white kids, black kids. It fails black kids. All right. You have crumbling infrastructure on Chicago's west and south sides, where are predominantly the concentration of black Americans in those particular cities, in that particular city. You have less access to mental health and medical needs. You have less access to economic opportunity. And this has happened and gotten worse since Obama was president. I'm not just going to just blame Biden. Obama was president twice. These things can get much better. And I voted for him. Harris, Biden, and I voted for them. But these are the same people that want you to think that we should vote for them, because the president, the mayor of Chicago, another failed Democrat, he says that one of the possible solutions to this $1 billion shortcoming, this $1 billion deficit the city of Chicago has, half of that predicated on the support given to illegal migrants in the city of Chicago, while black children are attending dysfunctional schools. They're not preparing them to compete in college, or even in the workforce, while the resources are taken for the illegal migrants that Ms. Harris let quadruple come here, that she could have apparently stopped at any time. Black Americans are suffering in these cities. And President Obama wonders why we have black men who are thinking black men who say that maybe this is not the rodeo that we want to be part of anymore. That's all I've got to say about that. I'm not going to go any further. I want you guys to consider. And like I said, anybody who has questions, concerns, critiques, or complaints, richardgrays@live.com, we can talk about it. Or you can post up on my Facebook page or the Twitter feed where I'm going to post this video. Looking forward to hearing from you. Take it easy. God bless, and have a nice week.